God damn it.
Hi guys, welcome. It's the weekly roundup, baby, with Pod in the City. I'm
Heck
John.
yes. I'm Amanda. Amanada, also known as Amanada.
We're
Uh,
so happy that you guys are here. Yay. Hi
guys.
guys. Hi friends.
Yay. We actually met a little earlier today, so I don't feel as like I'm flying by the seat of my pants as I was last time.
Well, tell me, Amanda, today's the eclipse. We didn't
Well,
we didn't
I'm like, that's, I guess, news. But
I
like,
I went outside and used eclipse
I don't usually
glasses
go.
and looked at
Did
it.
you really?
My
Can I
mom
still
gave them to me or else I wouldn't have.
I'm just,
It was at 11 something today here, so I think
oh,
it's probably over. But
you know what? I'm just going to go out and look right at it. Fine, sure.
oh, okay, well, be careful.
I'm probably not going to go outside, let's be honest.
Well, in case you did enjoy the eclipse, fire up those likes, please. Please smash that like, subscribe. We're here, babies.
Yeah, hit that subscribe. We're so close to being able to like get I don't know, get a new tier.
We're so close, like incredibly close, that we get to be on the like low rung creator thing.
Yeah, like the lowest, but at least
I think that we should just get right into it. Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and
Housekeeping.
Right at the top, Walter had his surgery. Walter, say hello. Yay. And it was a rough day. And I dropped him off at 8:00 in the morning, 8:00, 9:00, whatever time. And then I had to go back to my
Time was a blur in this moment.
It was a blur. I had to get a blood test done. It was a whole thing. So then I went to the move. I went to Immaculate, which we're going to talk about later, with Justine, because the vet is like across the street from her house, and it's really far away in like a different town, kind of. So I was like, okay, let's just entertain me for this time.
How wet did you get during Immaculate? Just a preview.
We were just laughing a lot. It was just us and like one random like 30-year-old guy like in the back. We were like,
and I'm sure he was enjoying plenty of it.
I mean,
anyway,
yes.
All right. So sorry to cut you off there. All right, Walter.
Yeah, so on the whole time, I'm like, they haven't called me yet. They said they were going to call me. Just if he's dead, I would know by now, right? And she's like, you're fine. And so on the way home, I'm like following her back to her house, because then we were going to go home and like watch Vanderpump and stuff. And I get a call and I know from my Grey's Anatomy watching that if the doctor comes out to after surgery, that's a bad thing, because they send the nurse if it went well. So the vet call, it says Atlas Animal Clinic. And I'm like, great. I'm expecting this to be the nurse or like the receptionist saying, Walter's fine.
So it's the doctor.
So I answer the phone and it's like, hello, is this Amanda? And it's the doctor. And I was like,
the one that we know historically has not a great bedside manner.
Yeah. Oh, well, listen to this. So I'm like blacked out. I'm just following Justine's red car. And I'm like, oh God. And he's like, and then he goes, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good. How are you? And he goes, I am fine. Are you driving right now? He asked me. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, well, are you able to pull over?
Are you kidding?
And then he's like, and I was like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, well, if you can just look at your email, I sent you some pictures. I just need you to approve which teeth we're removing. And I was like, yeah, remove them all. I don't care. And then I'm like, is he okay? And he goes, yeah, seizure. And I'm like, he had a seizure? And he's like, no, he is under anesthesia. Like, oh my God. At me. I'm like, I thought you said he had a seizure, but okay.
I'm not laughing to laugh, but like, what the fuck?
Horrible. So I pick him up for the vet. This was him right after I got him.
Oh, the baby.
I know his face is all wet, because I'm like, why is his face all wet? And he's like, oh, it's a bloodbath in there with the tooth removal. There's just blood just everywhere, all over the place. I was like, all right. So they washed his face.
He's just bleeding all over. Oh, good.
Well, just blood was spraying everywhere. But anyway, they got out 7 teeth. The whole thing cost me about $1,000. Really can't complain. Oh, I probably should cancel my.
That's a pretty good deal compared to what you'd pay here.
Yeah, and I mean, all in all, but like I told the receptionist, I'm like, he really shouldn't call people and ask, like, "Are you driving? Can you pull over?"
That is nuts. That's come on. Are you serious? You should be like, okay, so everything's good. There were a few we want to
That's
take
what
out.
you
Could
need
you
to
look at the
start with. When I had my own like pet sitting business, whenever I'd have to call the people, I would immediately be like, "Hi, so Fluffy's fine. Just so you know, I just like you have to start
exactly.
with that. My goodness." But anyway, this is him.
Hopefully he's watching.
Yeah,
And he can
I
learn
got
a
him a
few
new
things.
collar and I got a new little tag delivered. I had them I didn't buy them until after I knew he wasn't dead because I didn't want a collar arriving in the mail after he didn't make it through surgery. And then here's him with his busted new little smile.
Oh, so which
Yeah.
teeth are actually missing?
There's like there's a couple in the front bottom and then like all of his like main top one except one janky one that goes sideways right in the middle. So he's all busted now, but he's so
dogs like lose their teeth, their tongue like falls out.
I know, like Carrie, what's her name? Carrie, Princess Leia.
Oh,
Carrie Fisher, her dog.
Yeah, why could I not pull that out of my head?
Oh, I've been listening to
Daughter of Debbie Reynolds, darling.
That's right. Anyway, so that's my housekeeping. But Joan, do you want to talk about what we have coming up? All the business.
All right. So if you noticed our background, it is 420 month. We do have the special 420 special coming up. Oh, did I just cut out?
Yeah, I feel like you're kind of blurry.
Uh-oh.
But it's okay. You're fine. You can keep going.
Oh.
All right, well, now you're frozen, so I'll just keep going. Okay, so we have our 420s. Oh, there he is. Hi.
Okay. Oh my good God. You stopped for a second and it was like dead silent. And I was like, oh my gosh.
No, you're still super glitchy. So I feel like maybe you should restart your computer and come back and I can go through housekeeping if you want. Do you want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
Bye.
All right. Hi, guys. All right. You guys know how much I love doing all this stuff alone, but we have our 420 annual thing coming up. You can find the link. It's going to be live just like this. Who's joining us? Are any of you guys joining us? Please let me know. And you can get the live link. It has to be behind a paywall just because we'll be doing some activities there. But you can find the link to that on anyone's Patreon, on Erica from Surrealities Patreon, on me and Jody's Patreon, and me and John's Patreon. Just join any tier and there'll be a link pinned to the top of all the pages that you can jump in and join us. Also on Pod and the City, our podcast about Sex in the City and just like that, we are getting we're asking for emails from people to read at the end of every episode, crazy sex stories, salacious incidents, and just like that, because all the women are so old in that show and they cannot stop harping on it. We're asking for like middle-aged stories, so like this is middle age, stuff like that. That would be wonderful. And what else? Okay, so then also this week on Pod in the City, we got and just like that, season 1, episode 3, When in Rome, and that is with our good buddy Nick Kochanov, who you guys all know from Best Supporting Pod and the Good Vanilla podcast. He came on. We discuss the episode. It's the episode where Che Diaz gives their first stand-up comedy concert for us, and it's a total travesty. Oh, good, John's back. I can actually like. Okay, way better.
Okay, geez, I'm like literally shitting my pants over here, and like shit her pants over here.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Hi, I'm back. I know some people may have been happy about that moment, but I'll leave it at that.
We're good. I was just talking about this.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby. And which features yes, the comedy.
Did you was that the picture with our special guest on it?
No, I uploaded the wrong one, obviously.
Oh. Because okay, I missed what just happened. Did you tell everyone that Nick's
on the
episode?
Literally, that's like just what I was talking about.
Yay!
It was a fun episode. Nick dabbles in stand-up comedy, so I wanted to have a fellow comedian on.
We had a really fun time.
Yeah, no, it was.
Like it was really fun. Please prepare yourself. I did kind of
Oh,
go off for a few moments. So just whatever. Sorry.
John got his first real experience of podcasting, like the bad sides of podcasting. You can all probably guess, but you're going to hear it mentioned pretty much every episode we've done over the past couple weeks. So gotta get out of your system.
Sorry, guys. I know some of you love me, so thanks for supporting me. Thank you. We also had Golden Girls, which was again another really fun episode. I do want you guys to know, take a look at this outfit. This was the outfit that Dorothy chose to seduce a man. Just take it in. Now, this does give me, like, I would wear this like right now, but you know.
Sorry, I'm just going through all of the comments that I missed while I was having my mild heart attack when you were gone, and I didn't know if you were ever coming back. Do you want to talk about that nice review thing?
Yes, I do. I want to give a shout out to Christy in Geneva, because if you listened last week,
this worked. I was like, John, you probably shouldn't do that. And he's like, I don't know if it works. It works. And it worked. Like everything else you try.
Sometimes you just got to ask. I think that's like one of my new mottos is just like try. Sometimes sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, if you listened last week, Christy in Geneva had given us a really nice review on our Apple podcasts, unlike others. And they wrote like whatever they wrote, and then they gave 3 stars. Okay, so then I mentioned it on here, and I was like, hey hey person, I think you may have accidentally given us 3 stars based on your review. So then
I went back and fixed it and wrote a nicer review.
They went back, fixed it. And then I just want to tell you, Christy in Geneva, you're not an a-hole. You wrote, I think what you wrote was, I think I'm the a-hole who gave 3 instead of 5. Sorry, or something. I don't think you're an a-hole, baby. I think it was just a slip of the finger. And trust me, I'm not shaming you at all. I just,
speaking of things,
I love you.
Speaking of ideas John has that I don't think are going to work, but somehow work, and I guess now we're just sticking to. Do you want to talk about what we've decided to do with this? Just this ASMR thing?
Yeah. Okay, so originally on our Patreon, we were doing at the very tail end like an ASMR section. And I thought that because we are trying to build up our subscriber count, honestly, and our watch hours on here, I was like, you know what? Let's think a little business minded here. So, and I know some people don't really want to listen to it over there. So I was like, you know what? Let's record those separately and then upload them as their own whole separate thing. So in your stream or in your podcast feed, you are getting like a little random thing called ASMR Unhinged that was inspired by John Gordon, one of our Patreon people, who has commented that the ones we've done have been unhinged. So I was like, you know what? Chef's kiss to that, baby.
Salawallaway just said, I just pregame with that video. Wait till you see the cereal one, because it was pretty funny.
It's pretty funny.
I'm enjoying it.
I think we're getting kind of better. Like, at least this one, Amanda wasn't as disgusted by me
mad,
in it.
as angry, though. I'm seething. It gives me an excuse to like put on makeup and like clothes and do my hair and not just like sit in my own filth for 2 entire days. It gives me a reason to like engage every day.
So we're gonna release those as they come. Anyway, there you go, babies. That was it. If you like ASMR, you probably might hate these, but they're kind of funny and fun.
And I think that's it for housekeeping. Do you want to get into some hot top? You know what? I actually meant to go into Cameo today and go to this thing and fix the air at the end. And then I think I clicked Cameo and then I immediately got distracted and I just didn't think about it.
You mean Canva?
Canva.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my Christine Brown Cameo.
Hi, John, or nickname Joan. This is from Aminata. This is because I understand.
In case y'all have missed it,
I forgot I made her say on the.
I think that just blew through the zeitgeist, but it was pretty epic. I'll say.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Garrison had his or the army. I think he's the reserve National Guard. They had like their funeral for him this week. Did you see those pictures? It was pretty rough.
I did.
Anyway, me and Jody talk about that on our Sister Wives. By the way, me and Jody went back to Sister Wives. We're no longer doing Seeking Sister Wives. It was time. We miss Sister Wives too much, so we're back on our Patreon. Okay, what are we doing? Hot topics.
Wow. The hottest of hot topics. I don't know if anyone else is on this side of TikTok, but I have been utterly assaulted. Where is this? Where is it? I'm looking. I'm searching.
Well, you just started hot topics and you switched right to TikTok. Oh, hang on. You're right. Oh, I guess I didn't actually put them up here yet. Just go ahead and start talking about it. I haven't.
JoJo motherfucking Siwa, y'all. She's prominently featured here in the middle of our thing with the shock and appalled looks of others staring at her because what's going on? What's happening? What is happening with JoJo Siwa?
Okay, like you had mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, yeah, I
short
guess I
story,
really
she's kind of going through this. She's going through a rebrand. If you're lost on what this is, she's going through a rebrand from her kid thing into her adult music career. So you didn't know about it, Amanda, but now are you inundated?
Okay, so well now, yes, because I was like, oh, because at first I was like, yeah, it's fine. I like JoJo Siwa. I like what she does, like what she's done for like the younger LGBTQIA community. Like I haven't really. I feel like people watched her get abused by Abby Lee Miller for such a long time. And I loved it when she was on Dancing with the Stars. I think that she's insanely talented. She was on The Masked Singer. Like the energy on that girl is insane. So I always respected her. But then this, like at first I was like, all right, well I get it. She's young. And then as I get every new video, I'm like, okay. And then I thought that this was just one costume, like for this one event, but this is like her look now, which I'm like, why don't you pick something way easier to throw on?
That's an outfit from her music video. In case you haven't shown that yet. We can't really show clips on here, unfortunately, because I've wanted to pull some. I also she humps she like does this dance where she's on a beach with this other girl and they're like dancing around and she does this whole move where the other girl's on the ground and she gets on top of her and is like thrusting into her.
Okay.
Now, I saved this Salawalawe. Thank you for bringing this up. It says JoJo Siwa, the self-proclaimed inventor of gay pop. Now, this is where John set the fuck off, is when this bitch tries to roll up here saying that, you know what, guys, I'm just trying to invent a new version of pop, gay pop. Honey, people, even in the last 2 years, what about Troye Sivan or that? Like, come on. And if you really want to go back to it, she says that her literal idols are like Elton John. And she's saying she's inventing gay pop?
Yeah, she also said that people like Elvis were the first people to ever decide to step out of their comfort zone.
She said, like, I'm looking up to people like Elvis. He's like the first person who's ever like just been himself.
Oh, a hot, young, white, privileged male.
Now,
congrats. Well done, Elvis.
Did we see that at JoJo Siwa's like premiere party for her music video? Where the attendees,
everyone is saying, oh, sorry, I thought you were going to talk about the video that everyone on the internet is just redoing. Where like, dream guest for my podcast? Let's spice it up. One of my exes.
She turns away.
I was like, whoa.
No, I just thought I would list a few of the attendees at her premiere party. First, we have Todrick Hall, who is problematic in themselves. We have Colleen Ballinger. She brought the toxic gossip train on over to JoJo's thing. I'm not sure why JoJo seems to want to hang out with so many weirdos. And then the creme de la creme, her bestie, Tom Sandoval. Tom Sandoval and her took photos together at her party, and there's a video of him wandering around with like a bouquet of flowers, like trying to like find someone to give it to, like all
That is, oh, that's exactly what I like imagined it would be before you even said it.
I need, now that we have JoJo Siwa's voice, I need her voice and Tom Sandoval to have like an interview with each other.
Isn't it kind of the same voice?
It is.
Like,
that's why I think
you guys, this is so much fun.
Tom, what do you think about Raquel like leaving you? Like, I mean, what do you think? She's kind of like my exes.
I need that to happen. If someone would like to, well, Annie, what would that humping do for either girl? I have a feeling that JoJo thinks that scissoring is like a thing. She just gives me these.
I feel like it is, isn't it? I feel like it would feel good. Like it's rubbing.
Anyone here who is a lesbian, please give us an idea about real scissoring. I don't believe that there is real like you really get in there and like rub your.
Well, I would actually love to know that. Or send us an email.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say you'd love to hear it.
Send us an email to PATC Pod and tell us some of your lesbian stories. We don't really know any of those.
Our inbox is feeling a little sad. We would love some emails. We'd also love some Instagram followers because we've lost 2 recently because we're very controversial over there. At 1 a.m. at 1 a.m. the other day, I did post in the stories a TikTok of Marlon Brando. I don't know why.
I must have slept through
he's like drinking, or like it's from one of his movies. He has a bottle and it like sprays like the stuff. Yeah. Thirst trapping.
I'm gonna guess your state of mind when you posted that.
I would like, well, it was at 1 a.m. I'd like to know about, so Amanda has a story that she wants to share on the Hot Topics that she told me about the other day. She said that
you don't know anything. It was
my
yesterday.
World.
I just said the weirdest, craziest thing just happened to me. Okay, so let me just set the scene here. So I'm in my house, day off yesterday. All that I had to do was do this ASMR with Joan. So I'm no bra, Doughboys t-shirt, short shorts, because I'm like just laying in bed, like playing Diner Dash and like waiting for like having to get ready for.
Oh, you're just at home.
I'm at home. Yeah, I'm just chilling. And I kind of hear the doorbell ring and I assume it's a delivery because I get deliveries again at 3 a.m. like every day. The next day I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I ordered that. But the doorbell's going, but it's going like on and on and on. And I was like, okay. So I kind of like peek out my office window, like this window, and I don't see anyone. So I'm like, okay, fine. So then I go downstairs and Walter's like kind of barking and I feel like he senses someone's outside. So I kind of look out the window again and I don't see anyone. So then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to look out the door. So I kind of open the door a little bit and across the street, but I'm in like a complex. So just a very short street. I see, now let me preface this by saying I had been smoking all day.
What?
Because it was a day off. So I was doing full wake and bake.
Yeah.
There's this so here's the context. About a 12-year-old girl who I kind of recognize. And then 2 other people. Now, my aunt owns this condo. My Auntie Debbie. Everyone knows Auntie Debbie. Then I have 2 cousins who are her sons who I grew up with.
But now this condo that you speak of, it's like big. It's
a townhouse.
Yeah. Like here to me, a condo would be like a really small little, like a 2-bedroom apartment type.
Okay.
Style.
Well, that's
but there, it's like a house.
It's a house. It's too big. It's too many stairs. But for my uncle. But so her 2 sons, Mike and Dan. And Dan is like the hot cousin in the family. Do you have a hot cousin in your family? I feel like
I don't really have any
cousins.
cousins.
Oh, really? Okay. I do.
I don't have any cousins. And I am glad I don't have any hot cousins.
I'm the only one without kids too.
I'm very glad.
Or
I don't
married.
need hot male cousins.
Okay. Well, anyway, Mike and Dan. So I see this girl and I'm like, okay, I think this is Alice, which is Mike's daughter. So I'm like, I feel like this is Alice. And then I see this man, this like thin, very like good looking guy holding this big, like a rug, a big, huge shag rug rolled up on his arm. And then some like thin redhead girl, never seen either. But in my head across the street, I'm like, okay, that looks like Dan, the brother, like the little girl's uncle. So I'm like, oh, it's Dan. He must be in from Vancouver to pop in on me in the middle of a Sunday. So I walk up. Alice runs up, gives me a big hug. She's excited to see me. I'm like, so in my head, I'm like, okay, this must be Alice. I think this is Alice because I don't see this little girl. Then I immediately just go up and hug this guy holding the rug because I think it's my cousin. And he goes, oh, you actually haven't met me yet, but I'm so-and-so. And I'm like, okay. So I don't know this person, but I know this little girl.
I'm feeling lost. Did I stop listening for a second? I thought they were across the street.
Now they since I opened the door, they saw me, and then now they're walking.
Okay, got it.
They're walking over. Okay.
Sorry.
So I have the context of I'm 99% sure this is Alice, like my second cousin or whatever. This man who I think is my cousin now, as I'm hugging him with no bra on and short shorts and a Doughboys t-shirt with stains on it, he goes, oh, you don't know me yet, but my name is something. So I'm like, okay. Then I go to hug the girl because I'm like, well, now I've hugged everyone else. And as I'm hugging the girl, she goes, nice to see you again. So now I'm like,
okay.
What? So then Alice goes, okay, we're doing this thing where we're trading things, where we're going to people's houses and we're just trading like a big swap. And I'm like, okay.
What?
So
is that a Canadian thing or something?
No.
You just show up at people's houses to
This is insane.
Something?
I feel like this is something that you could get away with in the 80s. I think it's a cute concept.
Okay, now are these your family members?
Alice is my family member. The man who I thought was my cousin. How old
is she?
11, 12.
Why is she with random men?
Okay. So I'm like, okay, well, this is the idea. And now they presented me, he's brand new shag rug. So if there's anything you think would be a fair trade, we'll take whatever you give us and we'll go to like someone else's random house and see if they can do this. So I'm like, oh, okay. So now I'm like, there's so many things going on. I'm like, okay, well, do you guys want to come in, I guess? So we walk in and then I hear the girl say, oh yeah, I used to live here because she grew up in this condo. And so I'm like, okay, so that is Alice. And I'm like, I don't know who those other people are, but that girl knew me. So I'm kind of walking around the house and then he's like, brand new shag carpet. I'm like, I don't have anything to compare with a brand new shag carpet. So I like grab random shit, just like 5 things. And I'm like, here. And they're like, here's your carpet. And I'm like, so what happens at the end of this, Alice? And she's like, oh, nothing. I'm like, this isn't for school or anything. And she's like, no. It's like, so, okay. I'm like, are you going to go to Auntie Debbie's house? And she's like, oh yeah, maybe we should. And I was like, all right, bye. And then they left and I'm just standing. Now I have a shag carpet downstairs.
That is absurd.
You can tell me that was the
like,
weirdest fucking thing. And then after they leave, I go back in the house and then I take my first breath and I'm like, oh, this house reeks of weed.
I mean,
you can't just show up. How insane is that? And like they kind of know me. She knows me. What if you're like some random person and this happens to you?
Babe, well, your first problem is I would never answer the door.
No,
I would pretend I was dead in the house
like,
before that happened. I would sooner pretend the house were on fire
before I answered the door. I should have done that, but there was just something that they were hiding. I couldn't see them. So I found out who they were. Okay.
And even then, if they came there, I would be like, no, thanks. Find someone else? Like, what?
By the way, did you put up this comment from Shirley saying lesbian?
I waited. I was waiting until your story was over so that I could reference
we'll
it.
Address that.
According to Shirley, scissoring is a thing and it's awesome. And now I totally believe it. Like, yeah, I mean,
rubbing of parts of
gay guys, we have like frottaging. It's called frottage.
Is that where you sword fight?
Are you supposed to like rub yourself together, like rub your body parts together?
Your grundles together.
You're kind of like grinding on each other. Wow. Anyway, so to tap onto this story where do you want to hear
who they were? I figured out who they were.
Oh, okay, great.
Because I called my aunt and I'm like, I think Alice might be coming to your house. So I just wanted to warn you because she's recovering from bunion surgery. So like, can't just show up at someone's house like this. So I was like. So she's like, so we figured out that was Alice's mom, who I met at her wedding with my first cousin. Now they're divorced, like 12 years ago. Brad was at that wedding with me. Only time I've ever seen her. She's lost a ton of weight because she was on a bunch of medication or something, and her hair is now red. So that's why she said, nice to see you again. The dude was her boyfriend, who was Alice's teacher, who I hugged.
So they just were like, you know what? We're bored because that's weird. They're going to go somewhere.
Idea.
Yeah,
Like,
but they're
cute
gonna just keep
idea.
trading with themselves, or they
Yeah, well,
wanted
then-
you to go trade with somebody.
No, they just wanted to trade stuff. And one of the things I gave away I really liked, but I was honestly at a certain point, I was so flustered that I would have given them my big screen TV because I just wanted this to be over. Woo! So anyway, but then my Auntie Debbie was like, yeah, I traded something for like a board game of Twister. And I was like, oh, really went downhill after the shed carpet. I got the best thing on the list.
Must be nice, right? Must
yeah.
be nice. One thing I did want to mention is, did you happen to mention that our And Just Like That video versions are over on our free Patreon?
Oh yeah, because we can't put the videos because we
Yes.
show a lot of clips over on our Patreon. But the first 20 minutes before we actually get into the episode are on this YouTube channel, so you guys can check those out.
And if you want to watch the extra, go over to our Patreon. You just subscribe in the free version. I mean, if you want to subscribe the other ones, you can. But you can just subscribe the free version and see the videos. I think people are liking the videos.
We post quite a few free things on there, too. You can look at John's Barbies.
I post my Barbies and etc. Okay, so now Amanda had this wild, harrowing story. I have one as well. I was driving out of Sprouts, which is a grocery store. Okay. Here in Arizona. It's like it's kind of like a healthy-ish grocery store.
It's like Whole Foods kind of. That was way too
it's like cheaper than Whole Foods is what I'd say.
Okay.
It's like it used to be called Sprouts Farmers Market. Maybe it still is. I don't know. It's called Sprouts. I'm pulling out of there and turning right, and in turning right into the parking lot, I see this like person turning in slowly. It's in a nice-ish like SUV. It's a silver SUV of some sort. I think it was like something nice, a BMW or something. And they pull in, and I'm like, wait, that person looks so familiar. Who is that? You guys, it was Dennis Quaid.
No.
This guy. And he looked like this. And that's why I was very because he's obviously like aged and stuff, and he's had some work done, I believe, but not judging. But I was so shook by this because I look over and I'm like, oh my God, is that Dennis Quaid? And then they keep going, and I stopped there because I'm like, oh my God, I have to see a tiny bit more. And I look back, and they had a California license plate. So I 1000% believe that Dennis Quaid was here for some reason. And should I jump in then? I'm gonna mention then also another visitor to Arizona.
Perfect.
Was Miss Peaches.
Peaches hits Phoenix.
If y'all didn't know, Miss Peaches was in Phoenix. Dave Portnoy kept saying Scottsdale, but they were at a hotel in Phoenix called the Global Ambassador. I drove by there. It's like by the Biltmore. Do you know where the Biltmore is?
I know where the finish.
It's like Camelback Road, and
so that's
like
Scottsdale, isn't it?
No, it's like more in the Phoenix side. It's on the verge. Anyway, while they were here, they did very cute things. They had, I guess, like a meet and greet at a
like a liquor store, and
like
I don't know.
I
think he just walked around a mall.
He did like a bunch of stuff. I did want to mention he did go to 2 pizza places that are in Arizona, and I have been to both. I did want to give a slight rundown of these places just to give you my interpretation. First of all, he went to North Italia, and he also went to Le Grand Orange, which I am like, what the? Those are the 2 pizza places you chose to go here? Now, I know he's been here before.
Never heard of either of them.
Le Grand Orange is like a marketplace. Like you go there for like breakfast and lunch mostly. And like they have a great chicken salad sandwich. It's an open faced chicken salad sandwich. Comes on like a piece of toast. And then it has like this salad underneath it. And then it's really good.
All right.
I don't know why you're going there for pizza. And why are those your 2 choices? If I were going for pizza, I would not be going to North Italia or
I'd go to Gus's. That's still the best pizza slice I've ever had. And I lived in New York for 20 years, or however many years, 12 years.
Okay.
What?
Were you? Now, I don't mean to be talking down to you, but were you in a different state of mind when you had the Gus's pizza? Because there's no way that was the best pizza you've had.
That pizza's so. I mean, now that I think about it, Gus's pizza was always like a 2 a.m. order.
And that's what I was thinking. It's like I think the only time we ever ate it was like Oh, it's good. Yeah. Actually, I don't even know if that place still exists.
Oh,
I haven't even thought of that forever. Anyway, yeah, Miss Peaches was here. They don't I don't really like Dave Portnoy all that much, but Miss Peaches I love. So
love Miss Peaches. And Miss Peaches, oh, they just hit 1 million followers on Instagram. And there's this video right here that I just posted a picture of where somebody sent them like a cake for like or like welcome to Phoenix or something. Or no, I think it was for congrats for 1 million followers. And there's this really cute video of Miss Peaches getting kind of sassy. I got a little screenshot. She's gotten very sassy, like just watching her progress in such a short time from her being so freaking terrified of everything. Look at the sass on this girl here.
I was gonna say, even her stance there is she's so cute.
But yeah, and then here's her running up and down the hallway of whatever hotel you said it was, and she's heading to because he got the penthouse suite.
Of course. And they left like a basket of presents. He had a video recently where he's like, please stop sending gifts. Yeah, please. We don't need
keep sending them and then donate them to animal shelters.
Yeah, he says they donate all of them, but
good.
You know. So anyway.
One last hot topic is that, and this is only really for Canadians, except you should know who this person is, but Joe Flaherty died. He is one of the cast members of SCTV. Have you heard of that, Joan?
Yes.
It's the Canadian SNL, but like John Sanders on
like
it, Catherine O'Hara, Rick Moranis, Dave Thomas, not founder of Wendy's, John Kennedy, Martin
I wish it was
Short.
The founder of Wendy's.
I know. Him. Well, but the other Dave Thomas is really funny too. Anyway, it's such an amazing show. Here's him as Count Floyd, which is one of his characters. And he's also do you recognize this man?
You have other photos there. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay,
he's in Happy Gilmore.
Okay, I do. That photo, I recognize him more than the other one.
Now, he's also in Follow That Bird. This is him with Dave Thomas. Now, do you know that you bought me this DVD for like, I think you got me in like a Christmas exchange, and you got me the DVD of this and the DVD of Basketball, which I thought were two very thoughtful presents.
Well, you love Basketball. I knew that.
Yeah, and then I must have mentioned Follow That Bird.
Oh, I didn't know you liked Follow That Bird, but I do remember us talking about Follow That Bird in college because I love Follow That Bird. That movie is so good.
That song where he's blue, one little star all alone in the
I am okay, but you don't like Muppets, right?
I like Sesame Street Muppets. I don't like Muppets because they're scary. Some of them are so scary. Like Fairy Tale Theater freaks me out. All those big ogre Muppets are freaky to me. Have you seen The Frog Prince?
And it's a Muppet thing?
It's like a Muppet like TV movie.
Okay.
And it has like the little frog in it.
Robin.
And I owned that on beta tape growing up, and I watched all the time. But it was horrifying.
Yeah.
Some of the Muppets are really freaky. I feel like whoever invented some of those Muppets, like not the Labyrinth. Labyrinth?
Yeah, Labyrinth.
Dark Crystal? Anyway, any of those freaky ones.
Yeah.
Those are all scary.
Labyrinth scared me. I could never watch that when I was a kid.
That's right. He's the dad in Freaks and Geeks too.
Oh. Wow.
Well, anyway, Joe Flaherty, we love you. You know, I was gonna say good riddance. That's not what I meant. Rest in peace. Jeez. Rest in peace, Joe Flaherty.
Well, now y'all can cancel Amanda too. Goodbye.
Joan is so waiting. He's like, I feel like the second I get a bad review, you're gonna be like, okay, at peace.
No, because the truth is, I've seen many bad reviews about you. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. I actually just think it's really funny because luckily you are now with someone who is meaner and more abrasive and harsher to some people. You're like, you know what? I want to be the one who's the sweet little baby cold angel. I need to find
someone so terrible and insufferable that I will get off with a pass all the time. Muppets Christmas Carol, Shannon Rogers says, that's the definitive Christmas Carol, in my opinion.
I love.
Every...
So pick me, choose me, love me.
We were on a break!
Have some remorse, have some sensitivity. I think that I may be the voice of my generation.
I am someone who is looking for love.
Hey, it's Che Diaz.
I do want to let Amanda know that when she thinks that she was just hiding, I saw it all. You actually did it on the wrong side of your screen. It was all
What? That was playing the video clip.
no.
though.
What else were you? What were you doing behind the video? I saw it all.
Oh yeah, no, I know you can see me down there. They can't see me though.
No, it was on the wrong side. You went to the wrong side of the screen. Anyway.
Oh, can you like see us during that? Well, whatever.
Yeah, you can. Anyway, so the first thing we're watching always is the downfall of the biggest pieces of crap ever named Tom Sandoval. I cannot anymore. What are your thoughts, Amanda?
I love Tom Sandoval. He's so funny. And I think we got into an argument about this last week, but
I'm sure.
When I watched with Justine, we were both like, she gets me on her side so easily. Just that but the fight where Ariana's saying, "Oh, he tried to kill my dog," I think is so stupid and egregious. And I think that it's her fault. And you know what? I understand that like you thought the door was going to be closed, but I'm a disgusting person. I'll like eat in bed from time to time, but I never leave anything just on the thing next to me. You know why? Because I have pets.
Well, what I want to know though is why didn't Tom Sandoval put the dog in his bedroom? Why did he need to go to Ariana's bedroom?
The thermostat was in Ariana's bedroom, and the guy was there to repair the thermostat.
And so, why would you put the dog in the room with the person repairing the thermostat? That makes no sense.
He didn't see the dog go in. He was probably flustered.
What I'm gonna Amanda, you were more composed when they tried to exchange a fucking shag rug with you than Tom Sandoval is when a freaking AC guy comes to his house. Give me a damn break. I'm sorry. If you know that there's a history of your dog eating shit, maybe
then Ariana shouldn't have left shit on her bed.
I think it's both a mutual issue, but I think the bigger issue is people online being like, why doesn't Ariana just move out? Well, here's the problem. We're forgetting that this was 3 months after he cheated on her, et cetera, et cetera. In 3 months, why should he be allowed to blow up her life and then be the one to make her leave their home? That doesn't make any sense. If anything, he should move somewhere else. That's how I look at it.
Agreed.
It's 3 months later.
He's such a funny character. And like, as long as you're not dating
out of his mind.
Yeah, but I think he'd be amusing to hang out with. Like, I don't think I think he'd probably be like an okay friend that you keep at a very surface level. He's amusing to me.
Here's what I have decided is I know that there's some contention, surprisingly. People are not, they hate Katie and they hate Tom. They hate all of the people separately. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking there's one person that we can rally behind in hating, and that is Sheena's husband, Brock, who needs to shut the fuck up. This bitch needs to keep his mouth effing shut. He jumps in there and is trying to dog out Ariana, trying to dog out Katie. And I'd like to just read this meme that I found. I'll read it for you. This is in reference to Brock. The twice married green card husband in the 4-inch heels with the domestic violence conviction and 2 abandoned children has some judgment for the single women sleeping with a single man? Really? And I just have to agree. Thank you. Let's not forget that he abandoned his children in Australia.
Yeah, that's a little messed
up. So that
up,
he could make a better life, but he never paid. Anyway, he's a deadbeat and he's a piece of shit. And I'm going to ask him, even though he has a thick rugby body that, you know, gays, we like
and
that.
An accent,
we like
and
that.
An accent.
I think he's hot, personally.
Yeah,
I have a problem, but I think he is a piece of shit. And
opening my window.
I'm going to need him to shut the hell up. And I think we can all rally around our hate for him. So we're not arguing
I don't hate him
as
at
much.
all. He like doesn't bother me in any way whatsoever. Sorry. But you're apparently very triggered by him.
I'm going to keep my opinions here to myself because I know I'm going to sound really self-righteous. So
I don't like Sheena.
Well, I hate them both. I think Sheena's horrible. I think that Sheena is like the worst kind of friend you could ever possibly have. Except
All right.
maybe I'm the worst kind of friend you could possibly have. Tell us, Amanda, about Grey's. What happened on Grey's?
Ooh, well, first of all, the Grey's Anatomy doctors will see you now and again next season, says Entertainment Tonight, renewed for historic 21st season.
So what you're saying is that, like, I'm going to have to keep talking about this in our lives in 2025, right?
I guess so. Remember when I looked up that Golden Girls episode where they go to the Rusty Anchor? I'm like, it's so good. It's coming up in a couple seasons, and I looked up and I'm like, oh, it's season 7, and you're like, well, we'll never do it then.
Literally,
Like,
we
never
do one Golden Girls episode a month, and each season has 24 episodes. It's going to take us 2 years to get through the first season.
Oh my God.
But you know what? We have fun. Like, against some people's beliefs, Amanda enjoys her time with me, I think.
Yeah,
we have fun.
That's how I feel with podcasting. Is I always like the lead up to actually jumping on is like awful, but then once it's happening, I'm always in like a really great mood. I love it. Let's see. So Grey's, here's what's going. See, this actually kind of goes with what I kind of the notes I took. So Grey's, you know that show Station 19? That's like a spin-off of Grey's.
Oh, I didn't know that was a spin-off of Grey's.
It is. It's the main fireman on that show is married to Miranda Bailey, Chandra Wilson. Do you know who that is?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so he's married to her.
Well, she's been on since the beginning, hasn't she?
Yes, love her. She was
I actually like her.
Gary Coleman in Avenue Q on Broadway or off Broadway.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, doesn't that like so exact? Like, yes, of course she was.
It makes sense. Like that does not shock me, but then I'm still like, oh wow. I feel like I saw her then. I saw the original. Avenue
No, I
Q.
think just when you picture that character, they just kind of all look like Chandra Wilson, like anyone who's played that role. It's kind of just the same.
Careful.
Like,
Let's keep it pushing.
I'm not talking race. Well, I mean, obviously they're all black. They're playing Gary Coleman, but they're all like short. You know what I always thought was weird was after Gary Coleman died, Avenue Q didn't even like change the lyrics of that, or like, I mean, what were they supposed to do? I guess, but they were like running on Broadway when that happened.
No, I remember. What else? Like,
anyway, Ben, her husband on the show. This is what they do. They will force you. They'll start a Grey's episode that's like a 2-part event with Station 19, and then you're into Grey's, and you will have had to have watched Station 19. It's bullshit. And so this episode starts right at the beginning with Ben being like, arms all healed from that break I had last week, and then her whole storyline all episode is like, Ben broke his arm last week on the job, and I'm like, you can't do that. It's not fair. So I was thinking,
Amanda, well, just undertake Station 19, girl. I mean, you've already able to binge everything else. Just what's one more?
I'm binging Euphoria right now, but Station. So I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, they must be finishing Grey's after this season, and they're probably going to bring more Station 19 storylines in so that they can just transition Grey's completely over to Station 19. But no, the big thing that happened this week is that Arizona Robbins is back. And I think, once again, everyone, including the actress, has forgotten that she is missing an entire leg. Because, come on. I've never seen...
Okay, so that's her thing, is she's missing a leg and she just walks normal?
Oh,
basically.
She doesn't just walk normal. There's episodes where she has like 2 feet like slung up over the couch, all like akimbo and shit. I'm like, I just don't think that... it's not realistic. She walks better on that leg than like, and that the most, any like Olympic athlete can walk on 2 legs.
Well, according to Krista, Station 19 is ending. So maybe you can just watch the 1 season and get the arm break update.
Oh no, there's like 8 seasons of that freaking show. So Arizona.
Oh my good God! What?
I know. So
you know what? That is a common thing. I will see shows, like I'll see a thing where it's like, oh yeah, this show was just renewed for its 12th season, and I'm like, I've never even heard of this show. It's like some network TV type thing on ABC, and I'm like, huh? What is this?
19. So it was getting teased that Arizona's coming back. I love Arizona, but no, the last we left of her is that there was an idea that she was moving to New York, and there was a possibility she was going to get back together with Callie, who is Che Diaz, Sarah Diaz. not even a dress. The word Callie was not even mentioned in here. And I'm like, you're not even going to give us a one sentence explanation of how your life has been.
I think they should bring back Sarah Ramirez.
Well, I mean, they're not doing anything else right now.
Grey's needs, baby. They need a shot at Che Diaz, all right?
Ooh,
she's got a big dick,
Che
all right?
Diaz?
I don't hate
like,
that.
not even as, like, completely different person.
Well, maybe
Grey's
Callie could come back as Cal or something. I would love that,
so
actually.
it is the original character. Because I was thinking
I don't know. I think it's kind of hard just to jump in going from being a doctor to then a random, like, stand-up.
If anyone can do it, Che Diaz can.
If you didn't know that she is a stand-up, or they are a stand-up, but as you'll hear in our episode this week, they don't do much stand-up work.
It's just yelling at the audience, screaming at the standing audience.
I have a dick! Suck my dick!
That was like the mic drop moment. Oh, it was so bad.
I want to bring it up to lighter things, if you don't mind, because
you don't want to hear the rest of my recap? I mean, not really. There's all these characters that I don't give a.
I don't even know who the people are.
I don't really either. I wrote the guy with no lips. There's like some guy that's like ethnically ambiguous, and his lips are like this. It's like this.
You know what pisses me off is they would never let a woman get away with that. They wouldn't. No movie, television show, they would never. I have thoughts later.
No, agreed. And the chief might be losing his love for cutting.
Oh God.
He's like, I was in the OR and I was
cutting what?
That's what they call surgery. Christina Yang always used to say, I haven't cut in 2 days. Like, you're a psycho. But the chief is starting to lose his passion for the cut. So can't wait to see what happens with that. And that's pretty much it. Grey sucks, but I'm obviously going to he's ethnically ambiguous, and he's the nephew of Amelia. And his mouth is like this all the time.
Who's Amelia?
Amelia is Derek's sister, one of Derek's sisters. She's a surgeon. We went through this entire conversation last time.
I would like to do a little touch of some Drag Race. I don't know if anyone in here watches Drag Race. I do mostly religiously. I have not watched season 16. I don't know why. I just have been kind of like, meh. But it's over now, but going on was RuPaul's Drag Race UK versus the World season 2. And if you watched US Drag Race, the only people you'll probably recognize here are
Pandora?
Mayhem Miller in the black, and Scarlet Envy in the red.
Oh, you guys might know Scarlet Envy from that TikTok trend of am I the
yes. I'm not the drama.
The drama, that's what it is.
And she, don't worry, babes. If you watch this show, she referenced it 7,000 times.
Oh, she did.
But it's all right. She did not win. The winner was someone from the UK. I won't give it away, I guess. But let me tell you the real winner, and her name is Marina Summers. Now, I did watch Drag Race Philippines on World Wow Presents thing, and she was on Drag Race Philippines, and she came in, I think, second. So they brought her back on this to represent the Philippines. She has probably like the best lip sync that has happened on Drag Race in maybe 5 years.
Better
or
than
more.
Gina Ritz?
That's why I say 5 years or more. Because no. That to me is like that and like Latrice doing
You
Natural
Make Me Feel
Woman.
Like a Natural Woman. Or the Robin song in All Stars 2. Dancing on My Own.
I think that's powerful, but I'm like, how about Shut Up and Drive from All Stars 2? Holy.
Whip your hair back and forth.
That episode from All Stars 2 is
might be my favorite episode
good.
ever. No,
I
First
think
Fear of the World. Okay, let's not get into all this now.
All Stars 2 is so good. Anyway, I suggest watching RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 2. It's really good. And I also recommend watching this RuPaul's Drag Race UK versus the World.
What is Mayhem Miller famous for? Is she the one with the blinking?
Yeah, she did that.
Oh.
and Marina Summers. Go watch. Since I wanted to play a clip, but I can't. I'm sure it'll get docked off here.
Yeah.
It was her, and her opponent was Hannah Conda, and they do a lip sync to this song called "Release Me," and oh my god, y'all, you'll be like shitting yourselves. No joke. She is so good.
Do you have like a World of Wonder account or something? How am I watching this?
I have WoW Presents Plus, but I think you can just watch it on YouTube. If you just go on YouTube, well, you're on YouTube. Don't leave us, but open a new tab and try and see that later. All right. Release Me, Marina Summers. It's fucking y'all. She's everything. Anyway, there we go. Now,
well, do you want to get on? Do you want to discuss SNL now?
Yeah, I do.
All right, let's do it. No,
Oopsie. I didn't.
Nice one.
Now, do you
got it?
It's SNL Corner, starring Amanda Katinsky. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Amanda Katinsky.
It is pretty insane. I took that picture. That was like, that's a
I mean,
that's like a really. I like because you mentioned it last time, and now every time I see it, I'm like. That was really like a lot.
You were like, you know what? I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make this clip. So let me get a top hat, Walter's bow tie. Let me get this look together, honey.
It was frantic. Anyway, okay. So I asked you to watch this.
Yes, and Amanda, she always wants me to watch SNL. I'm usually bitching and moaning, saying I can't watch it anymore because I don't think it's really that funny anymore, unfortunately. I'm more of a SNL baby from Sherry O'Terry, Molly Shannon, all that. I need those women, Anna Gasteyer, even into Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. Maya Rudolph. I'm sorry, but there is no one there nowadays like that. Sorry. There's
a couple with potential.
Who?
I like Sarah Sherman, Bowen Yang. You're talking about women only?
Bowen Yang. See, I think I generally like gravitate towards women. So yeah, that's usually the people that I look at as like the ones that are iconic to me. Like, yeah, Will Ferrell and stuff like that.
I think Mikey Day is like the Jason Sudeikis. He's just kind of like the everyman.
He kind of just blends in. I remember I used to have a huge crush on Mikey Day because he was on Wild and Out on MTV like years and years ago. I hated that show too, but I don't know why I thought he was so cute. And then he got on that. Anyway, so Amanda wanted me to watch it, and I was like, I heard that it was like the best SNL that had been. Like on TikTok, they're saying all over the place that, oh my God, this is the best one yet this year, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, yeah, I heard it was great. And Amanda's like, it was the fucking worst episode.
I thought it was comparable. The end, this is just my opinion, guys. I am let me just say my first thoughts, and then I want to actually hear your opinion. I have no idea what you're going to say about it, but I was so excited that it was Kristen Wiig, and I thought it had the same energy as the Dakota Johnson episode. I was so excited, and then the opening sketch before the monologue was so abysmal. Like I just couldn't even. It was like sports, and it was sinking before it even left the dock. Fine. The monologue comes out and it's 5-timers club. So you usually get some like good people for that. It seemed like everyone was not like all the good people were not able to come. So it was just a group of what I feel like
Martin Short was there.
Martin Short was there. Okay, that's something.
Did they get Steve Martin?
Steve Martin was not there.
Why wasn't
no women were there?
I was just gonna say, why wasn't there a woman? Because
here's the people. We got Martin Short, Will Forte. I guess the joke was, they give those out to anyone, even people who haven't done it. So this weird cacophony of people here. Martin Short, Will Forte, John Hamm, which like I get it, but you need to relax.
Help me here. Wait, sorry. The joke was that they give them to people who haven't done it. Has Will Forte not hosted 5 times?
No, like none of them have except for I think Martin Short and maybe Paul Rudd, maybe. But so the joke was like, oh yeah, no, it's not even that big a deal anymore. We all got these. Matt Damon was there, and then Fred.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. I'm going to go on a fucking rant here. But if your entire idea is that she is one of the few women now that's being added into the thing and you are honoring a woman and the entire joke is that it's not that big of a
Thank
deal to get
you.
it, are you fucking kidding me?
And
Are
she
you
didn't
kidding
seem
me?
engaged in the joke either. She seemed like
I'd be pissed if I were her.
Felt her energy the whole show was, I know that every sketch is pretty mediocre / bad, but I'm going to give it my all. That's the energy I got from her. There was no, but then I go and I look on AV Club, who famously, we read them every week religiously. They famously hate every episode, and they like that. They give us like an A-, best episode of the season. I'm interested to see what you guys all think, but
That's what
Joan, I was like,
seeing.
I want you to watch it and see if I'm just wrong and I was in a bad mood or something.
I generally think that SNL is not for me nowadays. I think that it's lost its way, and I think it's trying almost to capitalize on what it was, or like everything is just kind of a replay of some other character that's been,
but
or
you
some other
sound like
situation.
every like Time magazine
I do
news article that's come out
every
time the cast
self-righteous
changes.
douchebag, every self-righteous asshole.
No, but with every new changing of the cast, there's some big expose written about, oh, it just isn't the same anymore. So I'm fine with it changing.
I think
like
Kristen Wiig is great. I love Kristen Wiig.
She's one of the best.
I think that some of the sketches were fine. I didn't like bowl over laughing, but
like that Mad Men sketch I thought was really bad, and I felt like everyone in it knew it was bad.
Yeah, I just don't know why we need to bring. I listened to somewhere, and they were talking about how SNL nowadays, instead of just like allowing to rely on their cast.
Yeah.
They have to bring in like 50 million celebrities every season. And that kind of makes, I guess, maybe my pessimistic ass is like, well, maybe if they got like, they would find a better cast or like stronger people, they wouldn't have to do that as much. Like, I don't know. I don't remember that happening as much back in the day.
They bring all these guys in for this stupid monologue that wasn't funny. And and then they have all these men here now, all these pretty self-righteous men, I will say. Like you got John Hamm, you got
Matt Damon.
Gosling I love. Canadian treasure.
Oh, but okay. Ryan
So
Gosling, I've been seeing a lot of TikToks following up about his filler journey. I'm going to need him to reel it in, babe.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice that. Speaking of people who got work done, Kristen Wiig looks great.
I didn't want to say anything about it.
I had to really.
I think it's the eyebrows. They're a lot darker.
Something
too.
in the eyes. Yeah, that might be it.
I think she got an eye lift because a lot of people do that.
Sure.
Because her eyes were but she also had very strong dark brows the whole time.
Yeah,
and I think I kept just being like, what's going on here? I'm not judging an eye lift. Trust me, when I'm older, baby, I will. I'm waiting as long as I can for technology to advance as far as it can before I start
and then just get it
chopping
all done.
and lasering, baby. The first thing I want this. Like, I totally want a lower facelift, like where they.
I would love that. Yeah,
your neck and you're like, that's all I want. That's all. Like the rest, I'm fine with wrinkles. I just want anyway.
Anyway, it was just stupid that we had to have all of these men and all of these, like we were writing all this sketches around the stupid guest starring men.
Well, when you see those boys who are some of their writers, you know, it's like, I think a struggle here is you have Lorne Michaels, right? Who is just getting older and older and older and more out of touch. Yeah. And then you have like 20-year-olds on the writing staff. So there's a mix here. I think Kristen Wiig looks great. It's just she looks somewhat different.
Yeah, just it's something around the eyes, but she looks great. Okay, anyway, that's SNL Corner. I thought it was terrible, but maybe I was just in a bad mood.
But you did watch something else that you thought was like not terrible.
This was just a really Jodie Foster was nominated for an Oscar for this movie. It's called Naiad. And my mom and her husband Ron watched this. Oh, Amanda, it's great. Oh, I just loved it. It was a good story, great acting. So I was like, I just put it on. It's like an hour. It's just under 2 hours, which I love. And it's just about this woman played by Annette Bening who is a lesbian, John.
A lesbian.
And she swam from Cuba to like the Florida Keys or Key West or something like that. Is that the same
Okay.
thing? Sure. And it's just her best lesbian friend for years and years was her coach, and it was just a really lovely, very paint by numbers. This is a hangover movie. You can just put this on, watch it. You don't really need to engage that much. It was fine. Like, I'll never rewatch it, but it was good. The acting was good. Jodie Foster, if I was a lesbian, she'd be the ideal lesbian. She is so cool and funny and hot, and her arms are like bam. And I don't know, I just thought it was great. Now, they don't address in the movie that when this happened in real life. Okay, so it's 60 hours of swimming in an ocean,
Good.
start to finish. There's a
I
boat
would
that follows
cry.
you.
I am deathly like I don't like the ocean at like
Me neither.
at all. The idea of like me free floating in the
I know.
ocean would literally, I think I'd have a heart attack before I'd even be able to try and survive. When I went to Mexico like 2 years ago, I did go on an excursion thing where they took you out on a sailboat and you jumped off the sailboat and like swam in the water around. And oh my God, I did it for about 10 minutes. And I was like, okay,
Wow,
I'm ready.
that's a
I
lot.
like swam back to the boat. I'm like, yep, I'm done. We're good. Because that's scary.
Yeah, it's
and
scary.
60 hours in open water.
Yeah, but like they portrayed it pretty well. I don't think it was being played for comedy, but the way Annette Bening was playing it was very comedic because you see all the shit that this person has to go through. Like whenever, like she's freezing all the time and she has to wear all these weird apparatuses on her face at night, and so she's just always like she looks crazy. But when this happened in real life. Okay, so she tried a few times and just made it halfway, or like she got stung by a jellyfish, or all this shit, or it's too stormy, and it just looks miserable. And she did this at age 60. In real life, she gets up there, she walks up. I mean, I'm bawling my eyes out, but in real life, she was in the Guinness Book of World Records, and they rescinded it because there were too many conflicting stories from people that were like on all the boats that were following her, and like they didn't line up. And she finally admitted that at one point, I think somebody was putting on a life jacket for her, and they accidentally touched her, and so she got disqualified, which I think
For being touched.
Bullshit. You're not allowed to be touched or touch the boat, which I get is a rule, but after seeing what she went through here, it's like, okay, let her touch the boat, or like
Well,
let
they
an
should have just like
accidental.
thrown the life vest in the water to her.
I don't know if it was a life vest, but she accidentally touched someone. But I feel like, okay, you all could have taken that to your graves and it would have been fine. So so she just isn't in the Guinness Book of World, but that wasn't addressed in the movie, which I find kind of weird. It just ends with her like walking up on the beach and crying and like passing out.
Oh. I think
Anyway,
that this is a wonderful transition into it's John's movie corner, y'all. So I'm gonna start. I saw a movie this week called Problemista, and it has. Let me find a picture here.
Is this with Julio Torres?
It's written and directed by Julio Torres.
Okay, I saw him that picture. Yeah.
And Amanda told me he writes for SNL, so I'm okay with it. Oh,
he's like Bo and Yang. He's one of Bo and Yang's like best friends. I think.
Oh, okay. So basically the idea here is that Julio Torres, is a toy designer who makes these like quirky toys, like a truck that's tire slowly deflates so that children know it like life isn't easy, or like it's these like satirical type toy ideas. Okay. So he is working for a company in art, or like not an art company. It's like a
Hold on, let me interrupt you. Have you seen that stand-up special he did where he uses props like that?
No.
You should watch that because it is so funny.
Okay, I will because I actually thought all those pieces were really funny. I thought the stuff he was doing with that was
okay. Yes, this all makes sense. Okay, keep going. So this is an actual scripted movie, though.
Yes, it's a totally scripted movie. So the idea is he's working actually at this cryogenics place, kind of for a job to get his green card. Basically, he has a work visa through this cryogenics place, and he's basically guarding this person who is an artist who has chosen to freeze themselves in this cryogenics thing to later come back to life. Well, he accidentally knocks out like the backup plug, so it didn't actually do anything, but he knocks out the thing, and so he gets fired. He has 1 month to be able to get a new job or else he is getting deported. But the only reason he really needed to be in America in the first place was because in order to submit an application to Mattel's like toy program, you have to submit it from the United States. So a lot of this movie is about the idea of how challenging it is to become a United States citizen. It tells you all of the roadblocks that he has to go through in order to do that. So he loses his job. You find out then he has to pay $6,000, like in order to continue to try and find his visa, he has to pay like $6,000 before he can even.
I will tell you, as a like Canadian living in the States, there was a constant state of fear and anxiety at all times because
I remember that.
Just always, like, I left my green card in New York by accident one time when I went to Canada, and getting back into the States, like they made me just sit and cry for an hour until they're finally like, go ahead.
And now you were coming from Canada. He was coming from a place where they don't really want people to come in to our country from. So it was even like, I'm not discounting the Canadian journey, but his journey here was...
Is this like a thing in theaters, or is this on...
I saw it in theaters,
okay,
but it came out a few weeks ago, so it might be wider now. So then this woman here is Tilda Swinton. It ends up that the person that he knocks out the cord for in the thing is Tilda Swinton's husband. She's an art reviewer, and she needs someone to help her do her, like, manage her husband's artwork in this whole thing. So he ends up starting to work for her. And that's what I'll say about the story.
Did you make this poster, or is this...
Nope, I found it somewhere. It was the only thing that I could find that was not...
Is that black guy behind him, the guy from Strange Loop and Mean Girls?
Guy...
You can't see
the one. No, I know who you're talking about. It's not him, but this is the person from. I think they might have been from Strange Loop. They're from Broadway of something, but it wasn't that guy, Jaquel.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Spivey.
All right, but you liked it.
I really did. I actually would really recommend people see it. I cried my eyeballs out multiple times, and I just but it was also really funny. So I really liked it.
By the way, I looked it up. His stand-up special is called My Favorite Shapes. And just he's so deadpan and wonderful, but he also he's just a famous storyteller. He's done a couple episodes of that show Risk, which is kind of like The Moth. And he tells this crazy story of when he was trying to get all these Craigslist jobs. Like he went up for tickling, like a tickling gig and stuff like that. Anyway.
That's referenced in the movie. There's a part where
it's probably very autobiographical.
Yeah, I think it probably was. He needs to make money, and he goes to meet a guy on Craigslist who has him clean naked or clean in his underwear.
Okay, yes, I'm definitely going to see this for sure.
It's really good. I really enjoyed it, and he's really freaking funny. Jen's asking if I'm going to watch Civil War. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like...
What's that?
It's a movie about literally
boring.
a civil war starting in the United States, like California and everyone else. I could watch it, but I feel like sometimes...
Too triggering.
A little... I'm feeling like, why do we need that movie? Because there's people here
because it's too inevitable
to have a civil war, and
that's why I don't watch Handmaid's Tale.
I have never watched Handmaid's Tale because I can't. That's too very depressing to me, and I'm like, I don't want to watch that.
Oh no, it's rough. And it's a little kind of believable.
Now I'm not trying to come off self-righteous here, but I just can't watch
Another reference.
Now Amanda did. See Immaculate, and if you do remember from a few weeks back, that is a movie that I left because I was tired of watching Sydney Sweeney's boobs be featured in every moment. Now, Amanda, were Sydney Sweeney's boobs featured as much as I mentioned?
Yeah, me and Justine were looking for them the whole time, and then Justine at one point was like, I wonder when. And I texted you, but you of course didn't get back to me. But I texted you during the movie. She's like, I wonder when John walked out of this movie. And right here, I put a little screenshot up of Sydney Sweeney, kind of walking around, just looking at things, just looking this way and then looking. This is the whole movie. This screenshot. This is the movie right here. It's just
that's
an hour and a half though, in and out, including previews. An hour and a half. So I love that.
I think that in general, I did see. Are we giving any spoilers?
Yeah, sure. There was no story.
Okay, the story is based on the title. She gets pregnant. She gets an immaculate conception, and it ends up being like the spawn of Satan, like the Antichrist.
Did you think that this movie was taking place in like the 17th century? Because we did until the guy had a cell phone.
1000% thought it was in the 17th, like ancient times.
Yeah,
that was one of my issues
Italy.
with the movie. Until later, when it's exposed that they are literally taking the stakes that they used to hang Jesus on the cross, taking Jesus's blood from it and extracting it to like implant.
I missed all that. I was so nervous about Walter during the movie. I was barely paying attention.
My biggest issue with that movie was, if you don't remember, she's a nun, and there are numerous scenes where it's like here's her hard nipples being featured with the lights. It's like she's a nun. And she's a nun. She's not even like gonna be a nun.
No backstory on her character. I know nothing about this person. The way the movie ended, me and Justine were like, yeah, all right.
People are like, oh my God. Well, the main reason I went to it was people were like saying that the end of the movie was like so amazing and like, wow, so shocking and stuff. And I'm like,
oh, we were like, that was it? I'm like, I wanted to see it. Well, not to give away any spoiler, but I wanted to see it. Anyway.
Well, I will say, if you... I watched this thing that, you know, there's these twin movies that just sometimes come out where it's like something very similar, like A Bug's Life and Ants came out at the same time.
Where the not Knocked Up, like Ashton Kutcher's in one, and then Mila Kunis and Justin Timberlake.
Friends with Benefits or something.
Friends with Benefits, and then the other one that's like that
is something with
Just Friends. I think it's called Just Friends. Yeah.
Well, another movie came out about a nun who gets pregnant with the Antichrist. Wow. And that was the first Omen. Now, this was a prequel to The Omen, if you've ever seen that movie.
Damien.
This movie, now, while I won't say that I thought it was amazing, it was a much better version of Immaculate. And I think that started with the lead girl. She wasn't Sydney Sweeney, so she was like, had some expression going. She wasn't just like,
I am watching Euphoria right now, and Sydney Sweeney is so freaking good, and I'm going to talk about Euphoria next week.
I'm thinking then like this, that was a byproduct of like, I don't know what it was. I don't know. She was really bad in that movie, but people were like saying she was amazing.
For sure. She was a producer on that movie too. Didn't you tell me that?
I can't believe that she would allow that then, that she needs her titties featured like they were. They were like in gauzy, wet scenarios of her like, look at my nipples. Like, you're a nun.
And there's a bunch of scenes where they're all just in a hot tub with their white like dresses on.
They're bathing together in these like hot tubs with wet outfits and like
each other's wet hair.
I'm like, they couldn't have done that. Like in this movie, there was a scene like that, but they're peeling potatoes. Okay.
Alicia says Volcano and that other one, and I just thought of another one, Armageddon and Deep Impact. Baby.
Oh.
Have you heard of either of those?
Deep Impact. And
what was the other one? Armageddon?
Oh, no, I've heard of Armageddon. Yeah, I didn't. Sorry.
You stopped listening for a second.
The first Omen was what I was talking about. I would kind of slightly recommend this. Slightly. This one did push me a little bit because there's like a storyline about her. She's like going to become a nun. That's where I was okay with it because she wasn't already a nun. Being like sexualized.
Oh, so you get actual backstory?
Well, she's moved there from, she used to be an orphan. She's lived in the system of the, you actually get a lot of backstory on her. I would slightly recommend that movie if you like it. And someone did like it. Mendisha Marie said the first Omen is so good. I really quite enjoyed it comparatively, especially.
The first, is the first Omen the title of a movie called The First Omen, or is Amanda saying it's the first version of the Omen movie?
Okay, are you saying the first movie, The Omen, is good, or this movie, The First Omen, is good? Because
we saw the like remake of The Omen with Julia Stiles, who I think is one of the worst actors in the whole universe. But I remember thinking that was really good too. It was scary.
We saw that?
Yeah, we watched it at 136. I think we might have been high. I'm not sure though.
In the Brooklyn days, baby.
Weed. Dante's Peak. There we go.
So yeah, that was that. This week I do not have a recommendation for a movie. I'd watch Problemista if I were you. And I'm still hoping someone could possibly send me a movie that they would like me to watch, and I will give some thoughts on it.
Do you want me to recommend a movie?
Please don't torture. I
can't think of any now, but
I don't want to take an Amanda recommendation because I know I'm gonna hate.
No, but we also randomly have the exact same Muppet Christmas Carol. We have a lot of the same taste. We have a podcast together where we discuss 6 different shows.
Yeah, but I do think that part of our charm, which others maybe don't believe, is that we kind of like are, brother and sistery bickery.
Yeah. We are actually
for
friends.
Like a long time. Like, yeah, we've known each other for over 20 years, y'all. I know the people who are here right now are like, yeah, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
We actually like you. So,
yeah.
But anyway.
Do you want to move on to last section, a little TikTok?
I do.
Did you want to do your new segment, or are we saving that for?
Oh.
Because I could have thrown that up several times.
I will give this.
You want to wait?
I'll start off the TikTok with my new
TikTok, you don't stop.
You can't just jump into it without the
start off that with my new segment.
And now I'm mourning a blue.
Thank you for the
so much better than me at those.
Thank you for the suggestion for the Jones Moans title.
Yeah.
Now,
I have get flagged for that song, but oh well.
I am scared that I'm going to get flagged for that because as I was trying to put it in, Canva was like, you're not allowed to use our songs for commercial use or something.
Oh, really?
Like,
okay, well, if you're watching this on the rewatch and you didn't hear music during that, YouTube cut it.
And it's like, okay, so my bone to pick here is TikTok has a feature that says not interested. Do you use the not interested?
Yeah, I use it every time Bobby Lee comes up on my shit. And then it's just like he doubles.
Bobby Lee comes up on your stuff?
Oh, yes, no. All the time. Worst Doughboys guest ever.
Ew. I hit the don't not interested. Okay. Mm-hmm. I've been doing that lately with a particular trend. If you are logging in recently, in like a month ago, I had to put down my dog who was 14 years old. Okay. Mm-hmm. And there has been this trend on TikTok of people putting in slideshows of pictures being like, I remember when I first got you. Yeah, you were blah, 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 blah. Mind you, the first one, I'm just like, oh, that's really sweet. They saved a dog. And then it's like, the most infamous one is this girl who adopted this very senior dog and it died 28 days later.
See, I wish I could be the kind of person that could do that, but I would just be a wreck.
Oh, I couldn't do it.
24/7.
I've been considering maybe trying fostering.
I've tried that too, but it's always a fail. George Costanza was a foster fail.
I'm sure it would be very hard. But anyway, they play this song underneath it. All right. And so I thought my one way of getting out of seeing these pop up is saying not interested. And under the not interested, you can choose that you don't want to see videos with a certain sound. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I said, do not show videos with this sound. And that sound is this. I don't know what the fuck it's called. I don't know anything. It's a song that goes like this. I think of you all the time when I watch you sleep. Please tell me someone knows this fucking song.
I just came up on my thing this morning and I was like, what is this?
My
it was like
nightmares, y'all.
The thing I saw was just a girl crying into the camera and being like, I can't believe this trend is going to kill me. And I was like, what is this? And then I clicked on one other one and now I know that's going to be the only thing. So what is it? It's just you thinking back on memory, like good memories?
It's like people putting up posts about their dogs like dying. Literally every single one is
all
like
of this is dog related.
People like animals passing away. And it's like the song is like, I think of you all the time. Annie, shout out to Beyonce with The Country. Agreed. We did talk about that last week. Baby. Yeah. I love that song. It's like killing my life. It's everything. I'm living
what
for
song?
It's called Yeah. And it goes like this. Yeah.
Okay.
I love it. It's so good. And I just love anytime someone plays petty. I love it. I love her for it because it's a lot of it. Well, I'm not going to give it all to this is, was a response to her performance at the CMAs with Dixie Chicks like 5-6 years ago, where people like literally sat there and didn't clap for her. They were like, they said people were literally outright saying like, get that N-word off the stage, like at the performance,
Nice.
which is, you're talking about Beyonce, sweetheart. Like, shut the F up. So yes, I think it's, and thank you, Krista. I agree. Wait, no Beyonce. No Beyonce. Carolyn, no Beyonce.
Careful, Carolyn. Jody said that, and her podcast never got back to 5 stars again. plus, if you want to read some bad reviews, go look at Jody's podcast after we combined. Everyone went over there and we're like, dump that bitch.
Yeah, I know. That's why I felt less bad about my dogging out. But they loved you, so I was like, wow, if they can love Amanda, I'm insufferable. Damn.
You must be pretty bad. So do you want to talk about this not gay thing?
Okay, I do, because I saw a TikTok. Some gays. Sorry, I am a gay. I would call myself a gay. I'm fine with it. But they were at Walmart of all places, and they found these like pride items, I guess. And I tried to find them, and I'm wondering if anyone out there is at Walmart. I don't usually go to Walmart that much, but I made a special trip and they didn't have it. It's a bag and it says not gay. And I need someone finds that, please let me know. I'll Venmo you. I need it.
So you're gonna walk around with a bag that says not gay.
It's this big. It's like this big. It's like perfect to put like some little like it's like a pouch. It has a zipper on it. It's not, I'm not gonna walk around with it like a clutch. No, I'm gonna put like joints in it or something.
Oh, all right. Okay.
But it said not gay, and I just thought that was really funny.
See, I feel like with you though, I feel like it would be more appropriate to just walk around with a bag that says gay on it.
But that's what not gay means.
I know, but not gay is more like, well, not gay.
Oh.
But you're
thanks for bursting my bubble.
Gay.
Fag. I wouldn't. I never would. I don't think that's necessary. But I did see a TikTok video the other day that was gassing me up, and I saved it because it's like, when everyone's watching you, you think people are all staring at you, judging you. They all just think you're hot. End of story. And I'm like, you know what? You're right.
Wow, you have very good self-esteem to not be like, okay.
Amanda, I would think if someone's staring at you, they would think that you're attractive too, because it's not like you're like a freak show or something.
You don't know what I look like when I don't know people are going to show up to my house with a full shag carpet. And I'm wearing my
I will say I haven't seen you looking rough once we started recording our episodes. Once we decided we were going to start recording, we're like, shit, got to put on a shirt. Exactly. I spray a tiny bit of hairspray in my hair so it's not as flat. Me
and Jody would always have this, like, that TikTok trend where people, I think we talked about this last time, where somebody yells out the window, like, you ought to be arrested because you look too damn good. And people are like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, if I was walking down the street and someone did that, it would haunt me for the rest of my life. Every day.
Well, I do think that those are often condescending.
They are, because sometimes sometimes you can tell that woman doesn't want to be looked at. They're wearing like a velour tracksuit. They're just trying to get to the store to get coffee creamer and back. I don't need to be yelled at by some assholes in a car.
I'd say that's one of the biggest problems with social media and etc. is like, there's like no consent involved in any of it nowadays. It's like if someone films you doing something and they can put it on there and you can be like 50 billion people can watch you make a complete fool of yourself and you can do nothing about it.
You know what's really
on here we make fools of ourselves, but by choice.
I've been listening a lot to Lady Watch, as I've talked
Oh.
about. We've mentioned every single episode, and it's so interesting because all these episodes of theirs are from like 2011 to 2015 or something like that.
Mhm.
And it's even the way the language they're allowed to use back then and
Mhm.
little like insults they're allowed to say. I'm like, I miss that because they were still woke-ish, but they made some pretty like funny jokes that you couldn't get away with now. And I'm like, that was the sweet spot, 2012, I think.
Well,
where you get away with a little bit more stank on your language.
I saw recently a clip from the Shrek musical, like the filmed version, you know, and I
Yeah, I
guess
know.
the
I know it.
wolf, one of the wolf's lines is like, yeah, and they said I'm a hot T-word mess. Like, you're not supposed to say the
Oh,
T-word
yeah.
anymore. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, wow, I can't, like, I'm surprised they even put that in a Broadway musical. That's surprising, no? But
Last two TikTok things here. Oh, okay. The one that I was going to mention, and I mentioned it to you just before recording. You're like, oh, I don't know what that is. There's this trend called what texts mean to an anxious person. And I just want you to know that you are the person that they're referring to. Because it'll be like, what does this text mean? It'll say bye dot. And it's like, you hate me. And then like, K, you're mad at me. And it's just like, and I'm like, this is like a conversation with Joan.
are you sure?
K, no, you're mad at me. You hate
That
me.
is not, that's not true.
Can I call you? The other day, I'm texting him. I'm like, hey, it would be great if, and I think this was before the thing happened with the rug. I was like, hey, if you could resize our like logos or something. And I'm like cooking something at the stove. I look like shit. And then my phone rings. It's Joan. And I'm like, hello. And Joan's like, I'm driving. And I was like, okay. I'm like,
I didn't think it sounded like that. I said, hey, are you busy? I'm driving right now. It's just easier for me to call you.
You can't do it. I was like, oh my God. And then you yell at me like I'm the one that called you.
I did not yell. I did not
to get a
yell.
Barbie.
Y'all,
Anyway.
I did not yell. All
I'm
right.
gonna send you
Amanda's
that
being
TikTok.
extra sensitive. If you want to hear someone really yelling at someone, go watch our ASMR video. Because Amanda roasts me.
Oh,
She hurts my feelings, guys.
Yeah, I leave no survivors.
Um,
And then my last thing is that on TikTok, I never comment on things. But you know that girl that does like the manic pixie dream girl thing, like insufferable lead of an indie movie. That girl.
Oh,
like,
that one. Yeah.
that like big mouth, but like not in a bad way. She's like gorgeous.
I know who you're talking about.
She did something the other day of like every teen movie ever or whatever. And then somebody wrote in a comment like, oh, and you know Stanley Tucci would be the dad in this movie.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to write something in here. And this stupid thing that I wrote, people are liking it all day long, every day. And I think I might go and delete it because my phone just constantly has like the red on. I need my phone to be clear of all notifications.
Oh, I have
and nothing.
notifications turned off for TikTok, or else I would
I
get
guess I could do
notifications all day.
Well, you
long.
pop off on TikTok.
I told Amanda I do have a comment that is currently really popping off on a JoJo Siwa video. It has over 4,000 likes on it, and that's not my best. I've had one that had over 13,000 likes, which got me really excited.
I don't like it. I'm like, stop liking this.
This comment though was so fucking dumb. It was her, and that's usually what gets the most likes. Is like it's her being crazy at her premiere party or something. And I literally just wrote, "I want what she's on."
Oh, that was you.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't figure out who you were because you're using troll accounts, obviously.
Oh, I thought my
like,
name on there was Johnny. Isn't my name on there Johnny?
Yeah, but I assumed you could be literally anyone.
Oh,
like Marge from Cincinnati.
Because I sent Amanda the TikTok and I was like, I was judging it, and then I was also like, one of my comments is really popping off on here, and she's like, which one is it? And I'm like, I'll let you figure that out. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, but then I didn't even think it was that comment because, like you said, it's like not.
I said
that
this
great.
is the most basic thing you could possibly
right.
say.
But it's
but you know, basic works sometimes.
People are liking it. And that's it for my TikTok stuff. And I think that pretty much wraps up our show.
Yeah,
do you want to go
guys.
through really quickly again, like little last minute?
First of all, we are so freaking close to getting enough subscribers on here. If you could do, and I don't know what that would be, share it, something, go to your grandparents or your parents' house or whatever, get their phone, open YouTube, subscribe them. Just help us.
Go
please.
to their computer, type in the word password or their current pet's name, and you've logged in. Promise.
Type in your birthday.
Yeah,
that's a popular one too. Like,
I'm pretty sure my mom's password is Amanda1.
That's what I was gonna say. I know mine. Yeah. Okay. With that, please, we're all gonna push to get Patreon members. It's tax month, and we as self-employed people,
you are breaking up all over the place. I think
because the world's pissed. Please join our Patreon. Can you hear me?
No, well, kind of, but you're going in and out. I'll just finish this out. You're fine. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/pod in the city. We're doing Golden Girls, Broad City, and John's ASMR things go over there. And what's the other one? Designing Women, all fabulous.
Our ASMR is actually going to also be for free.
That's right. The ASMR is also free to the public and on our YouTube page.
Cereal is this week's. Our last one was shaving cream.
Yes. And that's it. And then coming up this week really quickly, we have Sex in the City and Just Like That. Oh, sorry. And Just Like That with Nick. Season 1, episode 3, When in Rome, and The Golden Girls, The Triangle. And I think that's it. Thank you guys for joining us. John, I'm going to let you at least play the outro.
You guys, I had so much fun today, and I'm so happy that you're willing to listen to us. Also, if you felt like giving us feedback, email us. And if you feel like giving us a 5-star rating, really helps get the word out. Please, if you have negative feedback, email me first. Damn. Bye, guys. Love you.
All right. Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Let me put up our little thing, and then John can play.
All right. I'm playing music. It's not playing, so.
Oh, let me do it.
You might
Hold
need
on.
to push it. It's just circling.
No, hold on. I got it. Bye, guys. Love you all.